Hi there, Jason Bartels here from Funnel Mentor, and in today's session we're going to show you how to take the standard ClickFunnels membership area and change it from a 2-column to a single column wide page membership area. So with that, we're going to start off right where we left off on my last lesson, teaching you how to quickly set up a membership area. So we have this 2-column and we're going to change it into a single column. Okay, so let's just go ahead into the editor, open editor. So there's going to be quite a bit of stuff to do here, some advanced stuff as well as some scripts and stuff to add, and I'll show you where you can get all that stuff from later on. But first, to get started, let's go ahead and first I want to change this to a cleaner look. I'm going to go change this background setting to, I want it totally white. Okay, and yeah, and then let's go ahead, we have to add some new sections, so just I'm just going to add one for now and customize it first. So I'm going to go full page. I'm going to get rid of all this padding and make sure there's no borders or anything on it. Okay, so the first thing I want to do, I'm going to duplicate this. Oops, sorry. Going to duplicate it a couple more times, and this first one I want to put in a 1-column. Okay, and then we're going to take this membership nav and bring it up into this first section. Okay, so actually let me do a couple things here. So in my sections, this section here, I want to rename this to, should be lesson nav. Okay. And then the second one, we should name that lesson nav 2 as well. Just like that. Okay. So that's where our 2 sections are going to be for our lessons. And we're actually going to make this disappear. So let's just go ahead and do that right now. Rows. This column I want hidden. Okay. And this will be relevant later. So here I want to do a 3-column. Okay, so this is going to be where we put our, basically our buttons for, I'm going to have a previous lesson, a next lesson, as well as a menu nav. So let's go grab a button. So what I like to do is just edit one button and then we can change it all later. So I'm going to call this, actually let me put some arrows there. Previous lesson. Okay, and this URL is going to be basically, this is going to help us with some of the code and scripts that we add on. This is what's going to determine what this button actually does. That color I can leave. I want to change this to less padding, and let's go down to 16 for the font. And actually one more thing, I want to change this to fluid to width, so I'll go to full width of whatever your column is, and actually want to make that button smaller and have the center one bigger. Okay, so basically once I have my style set, I'm going to duplicate it, and let's bring this one over to here. Let's change this to next lesson. And this code we have to change as well. Okay, and then the rest should be good. And this, let's duplicate it again. And this one will be, we're just gonna name this hide menu. And this we want to do, this is going to be called toggle dash nav. Okay, and I want to change the color on this. I'll go with my funnel mentor color, and okay, that should be good. And actually, I did this in the wrong section. Let me see if I can. Okay, that's all right. I'll just go up with this one. This was actually, I kind of did it backwards, but I'm gonna go ahead and change the section name. This is gonna be lesson nav. Okay. And this section, I'm just going to rename it menu. Okay. All right, so this one we need a 3-column as well. And headline. So this is basically going to be, actually I go in here. So color, I'll do font, and I'm going to go to 830. Okay. And actually, let me, that'll be fine. We'll do 5. Okay. And then let's go ahead and put a divider underneath there. Let's go down to 0 on the margin top. Let's go light dark. Okay, that should work. And then let's add, oops. Let's add another headline text. And we're going to take off the bold. We're going to do left. Let's call this lesson 1. Okay. Let's bring this down to 16 for the font. The color, normal font, and let's go ahead and put a icon. Let's do the asterisk. Okay. All right. And while we're at it, I'm going to take off all the margin there. Let's duplicate this. Okay. And let's change this to, let's just put 5 there. Okay. So now that I got my first column done, basically I'm going to do this to the other 2. So basically I just go ahead and duplicate it twice. So it's easier just to create how you want it to look one time and then move this stuff around. So we'll call that modular 2, modular 3, and let's do this a couple of times. Pull one over here, there, and there. For some reason when you duplicate it, it adds a space. So same here. Okay. Okay. So there's something else we're going to have to do these links later, but however many lessons you have in your thing, I think right now we only had 2 lessons here, 1 here and 1 here. But just for the sake of this video, I'll show you this. Okay, so let's say you had more than 3 lesson areas or 3 modulars or whatever you want to call them. You could just simply come up to these rows and find the row. When you go over these, it'll highlight it. So you could just go ahead and duplicate. And as you see, it'll duplicate. But for some reason, it doesn't pull your color over from the header there for some reason. So you would have to change that. anyways, but so for this video, I'm just gonna get rid of this. Okay. So what's gonna happen is when a page loads, it's gonna open up so you can see all your lesson areas, and then it'll close automatically. So then whenever you click on the show or hide menu button, it'll go up and down to show you the lessons, okay? So now let's go ahead and I actually wanna do a single column, and we're going to take this lesson area and put it in there. And let's get rid of this double column one here because we don't need that anymore. Okay. And I think I want to eliminate, let's go to full page on that. Get rid of all this padding and margin. Let's see where we're looking here. Okay, so another thing I just thought of that I want to do, I want to add a 2-column block down here. Top's alright. Let's get rid of that padding there. And I'm going to put another divider in here. This all makes sense in a bit here. Let's go to 2 picks. Okay. And top, let's get rid of that padding. Okay, so I want to duplicate these lesson buttons and I want to bring them down below. So we'll put a previous lesson there. Oops. Okay. Alright, so now as you're on the bottom of the page, so you're watching a video and maybe you read through some text and have download buttons and whatnot, you would just hit previous lesson, next lesson. Okay. Okay, so now for all this stuff to really work, right now it wouldn't do anything. I'll show you. Let's go and preview this page, save it, preview. So right now none of this stuff will work. As you can see, it's not changing the lesson. If you hit previous, the hide menu button doesn't work. None of these are linked yet. But you can see you have a single column, which is nicer. And we'd want to customize some of that. So in order to get this to work, we have to put a script in here. So we have to go up to settings, tracking codes, and we're going to put, there's actually 3 different scripts we have to put in, but I'm going to take it from another page I have and put it in here. Let's just hit save right away. And let's preview this. Hopefully it's gonna work here. Okay, so it did. So as you can see, when your page first loads, so like when someone logs in, it shows them that these lessons are here. It kind of say, hey, this is where the lessons are. So if you click on this button, show menu, it will open up. You could click on the lessons, which we still have to set these lesson buttons up. That'll be our next thing to do. Well, let's just hide menu. So right now you can see we're in modular 1, lesson 1. If we hit next lesson, it should go to the next one, which it did. So it makes it a lot nicer and cleaner. And then as well as down here, we go to the next lesson. Okay, so it's just a wider, nicer, cleaner look. So I would actually clean this up even more. I would get rid of these boxes, but we still have to link these lessons. So let's go back and do that. So this lesson, I don't know why there's a space that's showing up there too. So what we would have to do is highlight your link here, and we need to put in this code. So it'd be lesson, it'd be modular 1 dash lesson 1. So it's 1-1, okay? And that would be good. So whatever, that's the only downside of doing it this way. It doesn't automatically populate all these lessons. You have to come in here and manually set all this stuff up. But if you want a cleaner looking wide page thing, it might be worth it. I personally like it, especially since so many people do stuff on mobile. This helps eliminate some of those distractions, which I'll show you in a second. So let's go ahead and link this. This would be lesson module 1 dash lesson 2. And this would be, so this would be lesson 2-1. And we don't actually have another lesson in here, but just for the sake of doing this, I will show you. This would be lesson 2-2. I think you kind of get the idea. If you had 3 lessons, it would be you're in your second modular, lesson 2-3. This would be lesson 3-1. And this would be, of course, lesson 3-2. Okay. And the only way this works is with that script that we have in there. So let's just go ahead and test this, make sure it's working. Okay, let's go ahead and refresh this page and test this. So this should go to lesson 2, which it did. And it's nice, it closes this menu thing right away. This should go to modular 2 lesson 1, which it did. Okay. This one, we don't have a lesson there, so if you don't actually have that lesson, it's not gonna go anywhere, okay? So there's lesson 3, okay? And the next buttons work, so that's nice. Okay, so now one thing I would do, I would change the title and stuff. So since we're messing around here, it seems like everything's working so far with the scripts. Let's exit out of here, and I'm gonna change some of the stuff on the actual pages to show you. So I want to get rid of, change that color, and actually let's get rid of all these padding. Let's get rid of the border on the bottom, and let's just call this, and let's center that, and let's do 0. Okay, 7, and let's go up to a 40 for font on that. I'm actually just going to eliminate this. Getting rid of some of this padding on this thing. Okay, that might look good. Let's do the same thing on this thing. I want to get rid of this box. Get rid of this border. Alright. So let's just save that. Close that out. Let's go back to this. Refresh this page, and then you can see the difference. So now it's just even more clean. You have your title of your lesson, which most likely you wouldn't name it this. You can name it whatever you want. And then you have your video or text or content or whatever it may be. One thing I would do, I'm pretty picky about all my margins and stuff. I would clean this up a little more, add some more margin in there. But yeah, other than that, it's an easy way to make it cleaner. It's a little more work, but once you have it set up, you can always, it's a lot easier, especially if you have all your lessons ready, or even if you do it week by week. It's not that much more effort to go ahead and customize, add some more links. You know, let's say, okay, you just created another lesson underneath modular 1. You're like, oh, I need to put another lesson in there. You could just go ahead and come and duplicate this, call it whatever, lesson 3, and then we would have to, of course, add our lesson, hashtag lesson 1-3, done. So then you would be done adding it. So it's not that big of a deal. You would have to create your content, your lesson page, and go ahead and do that. And a lot of the stuff, when you have it made, you just duplicate it. It's easy enough. So now the question is, how do you get these scripts? Where do you get them? So for one, if you're not a part of Funnel Mentor, go ahead and join Funnel Mentor ClickFunnels.com. You can create a free membership site there. And I have all my marketing blueprints, my funnels, which it's a one click. It'll be downloaded right into your ClickFunnels account, so you don't have to go through and creating this whole thing. I already have a template set up for you with the scripts and everything in it. So that would be the easiest way. But if you like doing it yourself, you can go ahead and copy what I did in this video and do it that way. And where I get my scripts from is from Jamie Smith. So I have a membership with him. It's only like few $100s for the year, and he has all these cool custom scripts, which is super helpful, all these different things he can do with it. And his site is cfprotools.com. So it's CF as in ClickFunnels, so cfprotools.com, and you can join his membership and get all his different, he has like shopping cart scripts and a lot of different useful scripts that'll really help you out. So if you want to go that route, go ahead. And like I said, if you want this funnel, it's available in my free membership area funnel. And it'll be a one-click download, and you can get that at funnelmentor.com. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.